fellow citizens. I think that's marvelous. I don't have to tell this audience that many years ago, you were really the leaders in science, mathematics, technology, astronomy. You lost that lead for some period of time, and I think you're now beginning to recapture it again in the last decade as you develop more universities throughout the Middle East. I was fortunate in being on the committee that helped develop Coast University in Jeddah, Saudi. And that was an exciting experience. And I think more of that's going to happen throughout the Gulf states. And let me encourage you, as you do this, to not only train your citizens to grow and become productive scientists and students, but also to collaborate with faculty, students around the world. I think that's very important. I think you want to be heterogeneous. I think it's important to reach out. I think that scientists really enjoy working with others around the world. Science has no boundaries. When we do science, it's for everybody to participate and benefit. The biggest impact on longevity and the quality of life in the last century has been antibiotics and vaccines. Those weren't just developed for citizens of the US or Europe. That's benefited everybody. And I think that this will come as your institutions grow and develop throughout the Middle East. I'm very pleased to see what's happening. It's always fun for me to come back and visit. And I think this is going to be a very successful meeting. I'm a clinical pharmacologist by training. And for the past 40 years, I've always tried to discover new novel drugs for important diseases. And while most of my research is very fundamental, using a variety of techniques, it's all directed to address an important problem, an important disease, including our work with nitric oxide, which you'll hear about on Wednesday. I'll tell you more about that. But some of the current work that we're doing with regard to stem cells and cancer and bacterial diarrheal diseases in underdeveloped countries. It's fun, exciting. I think that scientists, probably more so than most or many disciplines, love to get up in the morning and go to work. And there aren't a lot of professions that can say that. And I think you need to encourage your students that it's a wonderful opportunity where you can learn and push back the frontiers of knowledge, but also influence the lives of many, many people all around the world. I want to thank you again for having me visit here today.
Thank you, Professor Murad, for your encouraging, motivating, and inspirational address. I'm sure we're all looking forward to the great discussions and sharing of ideas that will take place during this conference. Now, we're pleased to welcome to the stage our friend and the co-president of the Second International Conference on Drug Discovery and Therapy, Professor Dr. Ata Rahman. Professor Rahman is a fellow of the Royal Society and a leading scientist and scholar in the field of organic chemistry. With over 700 publications in the field of his expertise, he's also credited for reviving the higher education and research practices in Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Dr. Ata Rahman will join us in a minute to come on stage.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to add my words of welcome to this second international conference on drug discovery and therapy. The first was 2 years ago, and now it's planned to hold this every year at about the same time, and we hope that many of you who have come here will come to the subsequent conferences also. I'll just say a few words about how truth has become stranger than fiction, and every day brings fantastic discoveries, whether it is the curing of night blindness in children by transfer of bacterial genes into wheat or rice so that they can have vitamin A ingested when they eat, or whether in the hall of the site you can create millions of plants through tissue culture technology, or modify the genetics so that they have internal pesticides, the BT cotton, for instance, or biosaline agriculture. There is an excellent institute of biosaline agriculture just next door to this institution, which you might like to go to. And in the area of health biotechnology, which is near to your hearts and mine, it's only about half a century ago that Watson and Crick did their path-breaking work. And now we've just heard from His Excellency Sheikh Nayan about the development of drugs which will in the future be tailored to your own genome, and the advent of stem cells, or the area that I am very close to, which is the molecular basis of thought. When you say the word mother, what molecules are involved in the storage of thought and in their recall. And you have this fantastic area of material sciences, which is developing memory polymers, for instance, where you may soon be driving in a car which will be made of a material which will remember its shape, so that if you have a little dent, you don't have to worry, it will restore itself. And in the south of France, there is this fantastic ITER project where deuterium-tritium fusion reactions are being attempted so that you can generate energy from isotopes of hydrogen. The global area of genomic GM crops has been growing with each year. And you have now cars running on air. This is developed in France. You have a Kevlar cylinder where you can have compressed air, and the car runs on compressed air. And this has just been licensed out to Tata and in India, and will be produced soon. And you even have aeroplanes flying without fuel. If you go above Mach 5, they can take the oxygen from the stratosphere and use that for fuel. And recently there was a report that blind people can see to some extent through their tongue, through certain devices, or disabled people move wheelchairs with mind control. So it is really a world where truth has become stranger than fiction. And wireless light using magnetic resonance, you can light bulbs without any wires. So it is technology which is driving progress. And here's a nano machine. It is not made of metals or composites, but made of atoms, and a cyborg beetle, which is part robot, part insect, and which can be controlled, and it can be fitted with cameras and sound systems and whatever, and it can perch on your table and without your knowing it, record everything that you say or do. So it is really a world full of strange and wondrous happenings. And I hope some of these wondrous happenings will be shown in the area of drug discovery and therapy here at this conference, where we have gathered together many, many luminaries from all over the world. I hope that you will have a most stimulating and enjoyable visit to Dubai, both in terms of the intellectual fiesta that you're going to be exposed to, as well as some of the touristic opportunities that are available here. My special thanks to His Excellency Sheikh Nayan, who has been the patron of this conference, to the Higher College of Technologies, who have been involved, and Dubai's Men's College, to the Nobel laureate, Professor Farid Murad, the co-president of this conference, and my colleague and friend, Dr. Robert Huber, and as well as the two chairmen of the conference, Dr. Alan Wright and Dr. Rebus, the organizing secretaries, and is Mr. Mahmood Alam here? We should all give him a good hand. He's worked very hard to make it. Thank you. He and his colleagues have worked very hard day and night to make your stay here comfortable, and I hope you enjoy yourselves. And of course, our sponsors, CIDRA, TWAS being the Academy of Sciences of the Developing World, the International Council for Life Sciences, BMWF, and Quintiles for their financial support. I won't take any more of your time. Just like to say, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful few days in Dubai, and a warm welcome to all of you again. Thank you.